And we're live. We're back. I always wonder like who's strolling in here on a random Tuesday. 1:30. What
Listen,
type of
if you took my advice yesterday, you could have been a shipper. I mean, I lamented about the Cardinals last night against Cam Shittler. Cam was 60% almost owned in the 111, and I didn't ship because I left barely off my best teams, which is lovely to do. ECU guy, I can't believe the ECU guy dagger. They only 1% owned. I mean, no one played the Cardinals. Every Cardinal I played was 1% or less. So
Yeah.
just
I don't even think the guy that won the tournament, the guy that
Perfect.
won the flagship didn't even have. I don't think he had Burleson.
Yeah, which is obviously the opto, and the opto rarely wins in baseball. There's just so much sporadic things going on. Like most of the time when a guy has 3 home runs, you're gonna have them. Because he was only 1% on it didn't matter. Right?
And because there was other guys that had 2 home runs and stolen bases, it was like not such a differentiator where you need it. Like the guy scored 219 Dylan without Alec Burleson. Like that's how high scoring it was. What
was Alex Burleson's? I mean, who did he play at first base?
Aranda, who put up 22.
So you could have just did 1 for 1 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alec Burleson put up 48 points.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Insane. Anyways, I'll victory lap that all day. Call my boys there. Call the shots. I know you don't have much time. I don't have much time. Middle of the workday. Let's get after it. 11 games. Is that what we got on top?
11 games. Yeah. Do you have the salaries up, sir? Because if not, I can pull them up. I don't.
No, I have the salary. I have the salaries and StatCast pulled up.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll let you lead me through the games here. I know the 11 is not too long. Maybe we'll breeze through some quick today.
You want me to drop this ship? You said.
Yeah, if you could, sir.
That's fine. Let's go. Let's kick it off. So we're starting New York. Ryan Weathers on the bump for the Yankees. Dobbins on the bump for St. Louis. Not playing pitchers here. Once again, you saw last night the Cardinals are a problem. Obviously, it was more that Cam didn't have his stuff last night than the Cardinals getting to him. But I mean, there's still guys that just mashed them.
Yeah.
So definitely don't want to play Weathers here. I actually think the Cardinals are better against these righties. These lefties and righties. So. It's a fine spot if you want to go back here for bats. It's just going to be a spot I'm probably going to avoid. If you saw Dominguez was sent down, Volpe was sent down. Top prospects coming up for the Yankees. I don't know if there's price on him yet. I looked this morning. There was no price on him. Greg Lombard, he's in there now, 2.5. Value there. Do you want to chase the value? That's the question. The guy does have pop in his bat. So it's interesting at 2.5. It really depends which way you want to go. All these top guys that come up always get a little steam. So 2.5 at shortstop, I'm sure there's going to be 10 to 15% ownership going to him tonight. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably won't play the Yankees here. Dobbins is gettable. Weathers is gettable. This is going to be a bats game for me, but it's actually not where my money's going to land tonight. But I totally get the size.
Yeah, I could go. I mean, like my heart says play St. Louis, but like Weathers has been solid enough. Like I just don't. Yeah, I want those guys to play well, but I don't feel great about it in DFS. The Yankees I like a lot. I mean, Austin Wells was 20% owned last night, Dylan. I don't know if he had a home run too. Like I played him, but he was just so high owned because he was cheap value in the Yankees stack against a below average pitcher. I think that just screams the Yankees will be owned again tonight. I do like him. Dobbins is middle of the road.
He's middle of the road. His underlines are actually okay.
Yeah, he's middle of the road. I think he's better than McGreevy, who pitched yesterday. But he's still like an average pitcher. I mean, go back to Rice, go back to Jazz, go back to like Trent Grisham here, some of the lefties, and then throw the rook in. So that's where I'm at. I could go back to the Yankees. I think Wells is cheap again. If he hits the ball well, like he's a good offensive catcher. So like the A side for me would be the Yankees, and I may get to them. And they provide some source of value too. If you stack like Wells, the prospect, even Grisham is like not too expensive. Ben Rice would be, the most expensive out of those guys, but I think it's affordable stack. And they're a team that could put up a big number here, I think.
Yeah, Spencer Jones there too. Cheap, and he's going to be up here 3-2. So yeah, it makes sense. I totally get it. I don't know if I'm going to land there, but I definitely see the play. Just playing Skubal, playing Henderson, and just. You can build a value stack with the Yankees,
which is just that's the thing. That is the thing. And so you can get the top 2 pitchers and then build value. So that's the tricky thing. I don't know, like if I'll get there, but I do like it. That's a spot I like.
Yeah, but let's keep the train moving. Good spot for bats as you outlined. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the prices here as we go through. It's just the Yankees are so cheap. You're just going to get so much ownership on them. Next game we have.
What are they going to be on? The highest owned guy is going to be 20%, right?
Probably. And it'll probably be Lombard, to be honest with you. Guy has some pop, shortstop 2.5, so it makes sense. Next game, we have Sandoval on the mound for the Red Sox. The White Sox are visiting the Battle of the Sox. Davis Martin, God never believed in. But this is a game I could definitely pass on. I think you like Sandoval a little bit more than me. I can see both pitchers being competent in this spot, so really not wanting bats. This is a pitcher pass game. I know I'm going to keep it pretty short. I know we're running on a short time today. So for me, it's going to be pitchers or passes in this game. Nothing articulate from the bat side.
Yeah, one case, again, this will be a pitcher pass. I think the case we made for Sandoval is like at 6'9", 15 points feels like doable here, maybe 19. I don't think he gets to the 25 range. I don't think he can, but I think like the 15 to 19 in a slate that's pretty weak at pitching outside of Henderson and Tarek. Like I feel like he's solid. Again, the upside's not there. It's like you need your offenses to go off, but I think there's like expensive bats I like. So yeah, I'm in on Sandoval. I don't know if I'll play him, right? Like it's like I still want to wait to see what lineups look like. The Yankees are interesting now, so like I think you may not need them on this slate if there's just enough value at bats. Yeah, and I guess it is more of a tournament tactic, right? It's not very safe to go pitch like Sandoval, although like his stuff is pretty good. There's a worry about his length. I don't know how long he'll go into the game, so something to consider there. Outside of that, though, yeah, nothing, no other interest here.
Yeah, let's move into one of my favorite games on the slate. We have Grant Holmes and the Bravos at home facing the visiting Marlins and Ryan Gusto. So this is an interesting game because I don't know if you saw Augustin Ramirez got called back up. And I pray to the baseball gods that the Augustin Ramirez is catching tonight. And the reason being is I love the Braves. I'm really, as far as priorities go, we get to the Dodgers in a second. They're kind of a secondary priority, maybe ahead of the Braves. Depends on who's catching. And I mean, this is pretty impactful. Joe Mack as a catcher doesn't allow a lot of stolen bases. A really good defensive catcher there. But if Augustin Ramirez is playing catcher, I know Liam Hicks is now with the Rays. If Augustin Ramirez is playing catcher, the Braves could run wild in the spot. And it would just be – and Marlins are already bad at holding runners on. And Joe Mack's obviously going to help them there. But the pitchers are bad at it. The whole team – if Augustin Ramirez is catching, it's going to be a 5-man Brave stack for me. And I could just see them running wild. Even guys like Riley. Riley's kind of a sneaky runner there too. So, yeah, definitely the Braves. I'm interested in them 3 to 5 man. I won't know what until I see the lineup for both sides. But, yeah, all these bats. If you go to StatCast, I'm going to share that most days if I can going forward. But just today – man, the Braves StatCast is so good. These guys are and just up and down the lineup, all the guys. And if you really want to pay up for catcher tonight, just pay for Baldwin. He's kind of been middle of the road here lately, but he's just a premier. He's probably the best in a keeper league. If you're drafting keepers, like Baldwin's probably the best catcher in the league. If we're looking at those metrics. So just love this team up and down. Easily a Brave stack for me. They're going to be on my, I'm playing the trip 8s tonight. For better or for worse, the Braves are going to make my team. I'm torn right now to whether I'm playing Baldwin or not, because it definitely flips the build. Either you go cheap catcher or you go Baldwin, and I'm really torn on what I'm going to do in that spot. But right now,
Baldwin too. I know that's kind of Baldwin is due though, so there's some merit to playing him there. It's funny you went. Yeah, I love the Augustin Ramirez. If they play him at DH, maybe don't go with that narrative. But I still think even if Joe Mack plays catcher, which I think he will probably play catcher tonight. So Augustin Ramirez is interesting also from a DFS perspective. Let me fix this camera fast. It's so blurry. I think he's been AAA for a couple weeks, but he's been running so much, Dylan. So like I think he's got like 15 stolen bases in 30 games. So from a DFS perspective, also interesting. You went the angle of like attack him because he is such a liability defensively. I just don't know if the Marlins are ready to put him at catcher yet again. So like I think that's something just to keep an eye on. And I do like Ramirez though. So like as a DFS play, like individually, and I think you could even go to some of the Marlins here. There we go, fixed it. Yeah, but I'm with you on the Braves. The Braves are the premier side. I love the Braves here. I think even if Matt catches, will that downgrade enough for you, Dylan?
No, Gusto's bad enough where just like maybe you don't value the stolen bases. You're going to need home runs more. I bet they don't run as much with Mac back there. And he's probably going to play because he's been alternating with Hicks. So he's probably going to be catching and Augustine could be DHing. It's just a funny note. If you see Augustine as catcher tonight or any other catcher than Joe Mack there, giddy up. I think you're going to see more stolen bases. So up and down, Michael Harris, Riley, Olsen, Albies, Baldwin, Acuna, obviously guys that you really want to target, Joe Ryan or Dominic. But I totally see this game underwhelming, right? The Royals are not healthy. The Twins aren't healthy. It's just a game that could be very middling where maybe you don't want either side. So as far as the X-House games, I love my Royals. I have a ton of Jack Cagg's best ball, Isaac Collins' best ball. Vinny P's hurt this week, but Bobby Wood as well. So I'm hoping they do something in this spot. I just don't think it's enough as far as DFS is concerned. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Dylan. Like Joe Ryan, sorry, I got lost in your words there. You put me in trance. So Joe Ryan is interesting. So I think as the season progresses historically too, he starts to give the long ball more. And I feel like that struggle is just too much of concern for me. I think he's too expensive. and I love my Royals anyway, so like I wouldn't play him here. But I think there's a concern with like the profile for Ryan currently. And then Dominic on the other side. Like I can't play the Twins. I like continue to not play the Twins. I just won't play the Twins all season. So that'll be all I like. I'm just Luke Keeschel hit a home run the other night. And there's like some interest like Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, but like, I think it's kind of thin on an 11 game slate. So this is a complete pass. No pitcher, no offense for me.
Yeah, good. Let's keep it moving. Like you said, we both have
Pittsburgh. I don't think they're very good. So yeah, for me, it's gonna be Henderson. I don't hate Jared Jones. I think to your point, like there's some safety built in with the strikeouts. Like there's always that's the safety. Like you have safety and the ability to generate whiffs, and he will do that at a 28% rate.
Game log is not a good indication, but it is helpful, right? We only see 77, 83, 74, 77, 73 pitches, 80, 81 pitches. It's highly unlikely he gets to 90 pitches in this spot. But within these performances, we see 5 innings, 9 Ks against the Guardians, 8 strikeouts against our Braves with a 29th point there. So it's like he's very good. And if he can limit the walks and just get a lot of strikeouts in the spot, it's going to be a pretty good value on the board tonight. So
yeah, I always favor a guy like Jared Jones. I don't mean to cut you off, over a guy like Bailey Ober, who's going to go 110 pitches but have 2 strikeouts. Like a decent prospect, and like the underlying stuff to start the season has been good. I wanted to play Texas. I logged on. I was like, dude, I like Texas tonight. And then just looking at Tidwell, I just feel like it's a little too thin on this slate on 11 game. I want to play Texas, but like I just feel like Tidwell's been solid enough, and like there's some still like unknown with his profile. Again, early because there's a small sample size. I think there is like a potential chance that he's just not that good. But like what I've seen is like enough to be concerned that I don't think Texas puts up a big number. Texas is always a bit of concern anyways. Like their offense is hot and cold. So that's what I'm at doing. I like Mackenzie Gore a lot. He'll be a lock on all my teams. And I'll be looking for an SP2 either high or low, depending on some of the options that we talked about. But Texas bats, not too interested in pulling for him like I'm pulling for St. Louis, but I won't be getting to him in DFS.
All right, well, let's keep the train moving. Next up, we have Dodgers visiting the Cubs. Tariq Skubal making his Dodgers debut today in Chicago. Wind blowing out in Wrigley. Definitely hurts a little bit of the upside because I mentioned the Cubs are a very pesky team. So he could get strikeouts, but is he going to have that huge upside? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Yeah. It'll be determined when we Monday quarterback tomorrow. But I probably won't be playing Skubal in my 888 tonight. Definitely won't be playing Assad. Assad's terrible, and the Cubs bullpen's pretty bad. So I'm definitely playing the Dodgers in this spot. I think with the Coors game, you want to play these offenses that have huge upside. So obviously, don't forget about Ohtani, but I'm really looking at these guys that could be underowned for the Dodgers because the Dodgers are always pretty popular. But guys like Kyle Tucker, who kind of have stunk this season, but his price is really affordable. You have Teoscar at 3.7. I'm kind of looking at the bottom end of that Dodgers lineup to get some sneaky upside at lower cost, right? Everyone's going to prioritize, Shohei, of course, in the stack. But I think this is a slate where you can actually leave him off and kind of build a sneaky Dodger stack. If Fiducia over from the Rays comes over and starts, he's pretty cheap at catcher at 2.3. So you can build a Dodger stack pretty affordably. Kyle Tucker's 4.2, Teoscar's 3.7. So there's definitely some value here on the Dodgers side. And I think against Assad, when blowing out in Wrigley, I'm going to be playing this spot. I don't know if it's 3 or 5 man, but definitely Dodger stack for me today.
Interesting. There's just this level of stank about it that I just can't shake with the Dodgers. Maybe it's just like the atmosphere around the Dodgers feels like gross because everything's happened. And maybe I just can't shake it. I get your point, right? In Chicago, Assad's not good. It's the Dodgers.
It's a narrative play.
It is. The Dodgers also like because their team, like even guys that are underperforming, they're so balanced from top to bottom. Like they can turn over a lineup quite a bit, like which is why they've won tournaments for me this season when I played them, because I do think like when they produce, like it's like it can be 11, 12 runs very quickly. I like it as a tournament tactic. I don't even know how high owned they'll be. I guess Tarek is like the fade against him is just the Dodgers don't have to push any of these guys now. Like they have such good depth. It's like any trouble or any like, hey, we don't want to send them. Like I have a worry about that moving forward. Like the Dodgers just don't have to like overextend their guys, especially like they just got this guy. Like that's just how I feel. Like the Dodgers have 10 pieces. It's like why push the guy to 110 pitches, right? Like they know that
go as far as Scuba's going to go as far as his arm lets him carry him. So like he's a guy that's.
I'm just saying again, this is probably a contrarian take, but I do feel like the Dodgers now are just going to be like they're like, oh cool, like, we just need to be healthy going into the playoffs and we can win the World Series like that.
If I'm to tax their bullpen unnecessarily, if Scuba's cruising through 7 and he's at 80 pitches,
their bullpen's so deep too. It's like they have 10 legit starters. Like they can just do bulk relief guys. Like it's just I'm curious. I want to see it tonight. I want to see but I feel like Tariq Skubal could go like 85 pitches. I bet he goes like 85 pitches.
No,
this is contrarian take. So like take this for granted. So also like I'm spending too long here. I do like the Dodgers. I won't be playing Tarek, but I feel like that concern is like lingering, and I don't know. I want to see what the Dodgers do tonight with him.
Listen, and I'm a resident Kyle Tucker hater, but it's the perfect spot to play him because he's a guy that kind of is underwhelmed this season, been batting 6th and 7th lately.
Back to Chicago.
People are just gonna people, and he got booed his first game back in Chicago, so it's just a perfect spot for him to hit a double dong tonight. You're like, whoa, Kyle Tucker is actually pretty good again. So it's kind of a fun spot to get him at lower ownership in the back of the Dodgers lineup. But let's keep this train moving. Next up we have the Blue Jays visiting the Astros. Savage, our boy, EC legend on the mound for the Jays. Wozniacki on the mound for the Astros. Not playing pitchers in this spot. I do like Savage generally, and I like him in best ball. But in this spot against the Astros, they're not a team I've been picking on lately. Obviously, added another Matt Barshow there. Just a team I really don't want to pick on. So I think your Savage is fine. I'm not going to be touching Wozniacki either. So this is another X off game for me. I'll keep it pretty short and sweet. Not playing bats, not playing pitchers in this game.
Yeah. X for me, baby. Let's just keep it rolling. I got 6 minutes, or you can stay on, but like we
got 3 games left. We can do it in 6. Okay,
so
next up, we have a game everyone's going to flock to. Obviously, the Coors game. We had Junior go double dong last night. We have Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Rays, debut there, and then we have Hughes on the mound for the Rockies. And Hughes has been pretty good lately, so this is a spot where I actually can get away from the stack, and just hopefully people flock back here after the huge performance from the Rays last night. We know Peralta is hittable, so maybe it's just like the Colorado side you want to get a little sneaky in this spot. I probably won't be doing this. This is going to be an X-off game as far as leverage is concerned for my 888 tonight, but I do think this is obviously it's Coors. You can play this game, and I'm not saying anything groundbreaking there, but it's just a game where generally I think I can avoid some ownership tonight and hopefully fade this spot. And you see last night Cameron hits to him run was only 18% owned, so you can get low ownership of these guys that are priced up in Coors if there's not a lot of value.
Yep. I'm with you. This is a Coors game for me. I like a Coors, like Colorado team stack for me. I will avoid Tampa. I feel like Hughes, when he came up, I told you, like I didn't tell you, but I mentioned like he looked pretty good. And like in his couple starts, looked serviceable. So yeah, I'll pass on some ownership there, and then I'll play some Colorado bats. I think they'll go low owned against Peralta, who hasn't been very good this season.
All right, two games left on the Express. We have
DFS Express, baby. Let's go.
We have Vasquez on the mound for the Padres visiting Eduardo Rodriguez in his off speed in the Diamondbacks there. This is another game where I'm just like, I don't want to play these pitchers, but I generally don't stack against these guys either. I could be talked into it potentially if you show me some evidence that like maybe I want to. Maybe it'd be a stack against Vasquez there. Maybe Lars Nootbaar makes the lineup tonight for the Diamondbacks, but probably not going to play this spot. It's going to be another X for me, but definitely can't touch the pitchers, in my opinion, as well. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same. I do think it's like the thing that sucks about Eduardo. Like, he's not very good, but he just elicits so much soft contact. Like, the bases will be loaded, and all of a sudden you realize San Diego scores 0 runs in that inning because ground ball, double play, and then like another ground out. Like, that's the problem. Is like he does give up hits. He will give up hits, but like he can limit the damage. I think he'll give up 3 to 4 runs. Is that enough? I just don't think it's enough. So, Randy Vasquez got a fun curveball, but I'm not a huge. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. So this will be a pass game for me too, Dylan.
All right. Well, let's get to the last game. We got 3 minutes left. We're making perfect time to get to our 12:30s here. Or it's 2. I keep saying 12:30 or 2 Eastern. I'm in a time warp over here. But we have Melton on the mound for Detroit visiting Hancock in Seattle there. This is a pitcher's park. So you can tell me either of these pitchers are in play tonight. And maybe if we're looking, apples to apples, Melton and Ryan at the same price, I definitely prefer Melton. Don't really want to pick on Seattle right now. They're getting healthy. They're definitely a pesky team when they're all healthy there. So definitely not going to be playing Melton at 9.8, but I do get the reasoning, right? He's been very good lately. Strikeout rate's fine. But at 9.8, you're really paying a full price for him tonight. So Hancock on the other side, Detroit, Riley Green's been very bad lately. Is going to break out of the slump eventually, but still don't want to pick on Detroit generally. Hancock's been kind of struggling here lately. His last 3 haven't been very good, although it's been the Dodgers, Seattle, and Tampa. All teams that can hit a little bit there. So I totally understand the concerns, but this is another game where I bet the under and pass on both pitchers in DFS. Definitely not playing bats in this game for my 888. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think Hancock is an interesting play at his price. It just hasn't been as good as he was to start the season, Dylan. So yeah, this is another game in Seattle. I'm like, kind of a void spot. I'll play Hancock. I won't really do much else.
Yeah, so that's all I had, man. I think I'm pretty excited about today's slate. I think there's a couple ways to get a little bit of leverage on the field.
Yeah, I'm sorry we can't stay longer. Thanks for the 8 folks that wandered in here aimlessly on a 1:30 on Tuesday. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping on. We'll be back. And, anyone that won on my take last night about the Cardinals against Cam, even if you didn't play the Cardinals, if you just faded Cam, you probably made money on last night's slate, right? I stacked the Cardinals on a couple of my 111s. Couldn't quite get to the winner there, but obviously was very profitable just playing that game up and down. But yeah, just on today's slate, a way to get different for me is just fade the Coors game. Definitely looking for a Braves 5-man. I really hope Augustine Ramirez plays catcher tonight. It would be a big boost for me. And maybe something people don't look at generally, but the Marlins do get up on the base pass. So if Augustine Ramirez is in there at catcher, it would be absolute gift for the Braves base runners tonight. But that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. Goodbye. Good luck. Hope you ship something tonight.
Thank you, Dylan. Thanks for jumping on, sir. And thanks for speed running this thing. Good luck, folks. Good luck to you, sir. Dylan, I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for you.